Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you'll be connecting to this video. I'm super excited for what is about to eat you tonight. Tonight is going to be yet another super amazing, session. And in case you are joining us for the first time, this is Top Club Teens on Purpose Club, an arm of Teens on Purpose International with a vision to raise, the next generation of purpose-driven leaders who would become agents of positive change. And so, what we do, we have our monthly webinars, and last month we had the delectable president himself take us through mastering time management. It's a journey on how to stop procrastinating and get things done. You would agree with me that we are the most distracted generation, right? So, a lot of us have quite a number of things to do, but at the end of the day, we realize that we are not even able to get them done because something somewhere is always taking our attention away. And I remember that is something Mr. Mordecai Orimilade always say. He says something like, whatever that takes your attention from your intention, that is distraction. Mm, that is Rema. I borrowed this from our president, Mr. Mordecai. Thank you so much for, such a powerful webinar. If you are yet to, catch up with it, it's still on this channel. Yeah, it's on this channel. So just go, search for Mastering Time Management. And here, so without further ado, we have our super amazing, guest speaker. She's right here. So before and guess what? She's going to be taking us on an amazing topic tonight beyond existence, how to move from survivor to significance. So I do not want to waste much of our time because she's really charged up. So let me just run through our bio and then she would come on board. Okay, so who is our speaker for tonight? She is Damilola Udoma. I hope I got the pronunciation correctly. She is a dynamic force for purpose driven living, social transformation, and youth and teens empowerment in Africa. With a unique blend of professional excellence and heartfelt impact, she is helping the younger generation rise above limitations to live with clarity, direction, and meaning. She believes that no one is a non-entity. Everyone just needs the right environment and opportunity to thrive. She pursues this through the work she does as the executive director of Dama Inspire Africa Initiative, an NGO that focuses on helping teenagers and young adults in discovering themselves, their abilities, and lead meaningful lives by educating, enlightening, and empowering them. She believes their dreams are valid and is focused on in Lagos and Ogun State through various educational and empowerments. She is also the convener of the Clarity and Purpose Discovery Bootcamp, a mentorship community designed to help individuals discover purpose and find direction. She has graduated over 25 young individuals from the bootcamp with amazing testimonials of clarity, growth, and transformation. She also hosts real life conversations with Dami, a monthly mentorship series that helps young professionals navigate life with clarity, faith, and intention. As a passionate advocate for the next generation and certified teens and adolescent counselor, Damilola serves as a mentor with the Faith Foundation Scholars Program and volunteers with the UNICEF Generation Unlimited Young People Action Team. Oh my God, she has a whole lot here. If I keep reading and reading, oh my God, we won't end yet. With a digital clapping ovation, let's make welcome the delectable speaker, none other than Damilola Uzoma-Udoma. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I please confirm you can hear me clearly.
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
All right.
So good to
Thank you
have you.
so much for having me. Don't mind all of those things you are reading on. I'm just one young girl who is just conscious about, assignments and just ready to live one day at a time doing it. So it's a great privilege to be here. Thank you so much, Mrs. Sandra Orimiladeye, right? Did I get that right? Thank you so much, Sis on Purpose, for having me. To the president, thank you so much. I mean, this is you people are doing something really amazing. I remember the first time I stumbled on the platform on Instagram. I'm like, who are these people who are so passionate about young people? And then you go around on your school tours teaching people purpose. You know, it's not a lang- it's not something that we hear about amidst young people a lot. It feels like, oh, I mean, purpose, just live your life. Everybody just wants to live life. And maybe when you get to like 40 or 50, you're now saying, hey, so what am I supposed to do? What will I live when I go? What will I be remembered for? But having young people start early with that consciousness is very beautiful. Kudos and kudos and kudos to you on that amazing transformational journey you are on. So good evening, everybody. Good morning, and thank you so much for being here today. So we'll just dive into what we have for tonight. Yes, so the topic is beyond survivor, beyond existence, rather, moving from survivor to significance. And let me start by saying that, I mean, one thing I tell people around me a lot is that there's no way that this life we were just created to also through life. In fact, those around me know that I really do not like using that word. Oh, say, what are you doing now? I'm just hustling. No, I'm just trying to hustle. No. I feel like it's not right for you to say you're hustling. Of course, it's like the term that everybody hear. Oh, you have to hustle. You have to be doing something. But tonight, I want to help us achieve a shift such that you are living life. You're supposed to live through life, not also through life, not struggle to life, not any way which way kind of thing, right? And so I want you to just journey with me. I'm going to be brief, but journey with me and be open to share your questions, share your contributions. I'm going to start with this. There's this rhyme we used to sing while in primary school. I don't know if they still sing it. So how many of us know Solomon Grundy? Solomon Grundy, born on Monday, christened on Tuesday, married on Wednesday. If you know it, let me see. Can you just complete it for me in the comments? And you know that kind of thing. Married on Wednesday, I think born on Thursday, died on Friday, buried on Saturday. That is the end of Solomon Grundy. But it would amaze you to know that that's actually how a lot of people are living their lives. Like that Solomon Grundy kind of thing where you just start and then what next? What next? What next? What next? What next? And then you just go, right? But it's more like you wake up, you're working, everybody needs to go to school, so follow that trend, go to school. Or after school, we need to also we need to get a job, follow that trend, get a job. After getting a job, oh, we need to get married. Oh, of course, now let's get married. Oh, we need to buy a house. Oh, we need to get a car, and then you just go through, and at the end of everything, it's you feel like, I mean, I've lived my life, but that is not actually the life you're supposed to live. I don't know if you've ever wondered how people who seem to be doing very well. I mean, I've heard of a few cases. I won't be calling names, but I've heard of a few cases where somebody who is a multi-millionaire, somebody who is big, just commits suicide, and you're trying to wonder how on earth, what could have led this person to committing suicide? Suicide. I mean, you have all the money in the world. If you just give me half of that money, I'm sure you said that. Like, just give me one third of the money you have, and I'll be fine. The truth is, you will not be fine. You will not be fine because there is a way that everyone has been created such that so the life is like a map. The entire world is like a map, right? And every one of us holds a piece of that map. Now imagine will a map be complete if that one piece, if just one piece is missing. And that's how I want you to begin to see life as we journey tonight. Like I am a piece in the entirety of something big. I am a piece. And if I am not there, no matter how, if every other person brings their own piece, if my piece is not there, it is still incomplete. Even if it is 99.99999, it is still incomplete. That is the life that you build. God is not a waster of resources. If you were not needed on earth, you wouldn't be here. If all you had to come and do on it was just for you, you wouldn't be here. So the fact that you're here shows that there has to be something more. There has to be something more for me. And I'm sure somebody will be saying, "Oh, me? Who know me? Like my family, there's not even, I mean, where am I coming from? Nobody knows us." It's not about that. Regardless of your background, regardless of the surrounding circumstances of your birth, regardless of whatever it is, you are a piece of the entire map, and that you need to have your part to beautify the world. You need to have your part to make the world what it is supposed to be. And so that should form the mindset that you begin to live with. And I'm setting the foundation tonight. That's where I want us to start from. That should form the mindset that you need to begin to move with. That I am a piece of a bigger picture. I am a piece of something. I need to, if my path is not there, it wouldn't be complete. If I don't do my part. And so you now begin to, so it may see the reason why sometimes it looks like some young people, you need to, they're easily distracted, they're no vision, they don't have vision, they're not doing anything, they are nonchalant, they're not, it's because they don't understand it. Because when you understand this, you're more intentional with life because you know that there is, I am a piece of something bigger. I need to play. If I don't place it, it won't be complete. And so a lot of people have gone through life without meeting their needs, and that's why the world is the way it is today. So you don't also want to go through life and live the world the way it is like now, when you have the chance, when you have the opportunity to have made it better, right? You don't want to go through life and you find out that, oh, there was something I could have done to make the world a better place, but I didn't do it. There was something I could have added to make the world a better place, but I didn't do it because the world has conditioned. There is a conditioning that it just has to be about you. Just need to also, you just need to survive. Guy, think for yourself. Oh, you, me, myself, and I, me, myself, and my family. No, that is not what we'll be looking at. So the first thing we're going to be starting with is to look at what does it mean to just survive, and what does it mean to survive. Surviving is just merely existing. Surviving is just me. Let me just have enough for myself. Surviving is just your belly pulling through. Let me just see the break of life. Let me just manage. Surviving is no sense of fulfillment. Surviving is no meaning. Surviving is constantly chasing validation where you want to be sure that, oh, who is applauding me now? Who is seeing what I'm doing? And that's what, a lot of young people have been pushed to do wrong things. They've been involved in so many criminal acts because they just want to survive. Say, I need to use what's the phone that is trending now. I need to join them. I need to survive. I need to feed. I need to do all those things. You were not made to just survive. Hear me and hear me well. You were not made to just survive. The truth is, the people who are actually living, you will see that somehow, of course, I didn't say that you were not made to survive. So there is a survival part to life. But that is not where it ends. And that's why I love the theme. It says moving from your survival is the starting point. So if all you do in your life is survive, you only stop at the starting point. You did not delve into something more that you could have enjoyed. It's more like being in a room and there are treasures in the room and you have access to anything, but you just pick one and say, let me just stay here. It's just food. And let me just stay as long as I have food. When you could have gotten so much more. And it's that so much more I want to ignite that passion for in you tonight, so that you begin to live with that so much more to say no. And see, when I'm talking about so much more, I'm not talking about fame. Because there is this thing in our mind that, I was still thinking about it recently, how that when people want to talk about relevance, when they want to talk about significance, they equate it to, oh, how many followers do you have? How popular are you? How famous are you? How many people know you? The truth is, relevance is not always measured by popularity. Relevance is not always measured by fame. There are people that they've done so well in this life, like the impact they made, and they're not even on social media. There are people that there are people that have even affected some of us that They are not even on social media. They were not even popular in their days. Maybe it was much later or through somebody else that they impacted. So there are some of you that is just one person, just two people, just three people that your relevance could affect, but you are relevant. So back to what I was saying, right? Talking about what does it mean to survive. So survival is a starting point. But we need to go from that starting point of, oh, just me, just myself. Oh, I need to ensure that I have enough. I've suffered, especially when you're coming from somewhere that I know what my background is like. I don't want to experience it. Everything must be good for me. I just need to sort things out, and it's a good place to start. But if it's not well managed, if you're not, if there is nothing more, it can push you to say, see, any way, which way. And that's why some people will tell you whatever it takes, even when it is wrong, they are like, whatever it takes, because they are still in that space of survival. Their eyes have not been opened, they haven't seen the light that, come on, there is more. Is somebody following me? If you're still with me, let me see your comments. I think I can see some comments, so I know that you're still following me. So, and then when it comes to significance, when we're talking about significance, we're talking about intentional and purposeful living. We're talking about intentional and purposeful living when you're talking of what? Significance. I know we've all heard the word purpose, and you're like, what is even this purpose? And I'm sure that Things on Purpose have done a bit of they would have done a bit of a great job opening our eyes to what purpose is, but we'll still be touching it a bit tonight. Oh, thank you for that response that you're following. Significance is when something is significant, something that cannot be ignored. So you want to move your life from a place of I'm just managing to pulling through to a place where you cannot be ignored. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that nice? And you're not doing it because, remember, we said it's not about fame. We're not doing this because of popularity, because, oh, people need to applaud you. No. You are doing this because you understand that you are a piece, that your piece in that big map. You need to leave out your footprint there. There is something that if you don't do, the world will not be better. There is something that if you don't meet up with, and so it brings you to a place of responsibility. Significance is making your environment better, living beyond yourself. That is significance, right? So God is not a waster of resources, like I said. If you were not needed, you would not be here. So the first thing is we've looked at what significance and survival is. Now the next thing is you need to know that you are needed here. I'm needed here. I am needed here. Yes, you are needed here. That's why you are here on earth. You could have been a chicken. You could have been a goat. You could have been a cow. You could have been any other thing but you. So that it is you that you are here. Whether it was your parents, of course, none of us chose our parents. I wouldn't say whether your parents were your choice or not. Whether you would have preferred to be in London, whether you had wished that, oh, maybe I would have been in another country or another continent, or maybe you would have preferred to be in Nigeria and all of that, but you are here now shows that you are needed here. And so you want to begin to ask yourself the question, what am I needed here to do? And that's what am I needed here for? Right? So there is this inner talk, there is this inner feeling, you begin to ask yourself, I don't know if you've ever been there. I want a response. How many of you have you ever been there that you just wake up one day and everything just feels like you just lose that spark. Everything just feels like, so what else? I mean, this happens to me a lot of time where that is I just wake up and I'm like, okay, yes, okay, so all of these things now. So what next? Or maybe when I hear news of somebody's passing and this person has like everything together, it just makes the world feels like it's very fragile. There's nothing really in this world. And that's the truth. So what now makes the word meaningful? What makes you see all these things people are pursuing? It can go in one day. I can't remember what I was speaking to recently, and then we were looking at how a lot of things that when you build things and you've invested on your life, and then in one day everything just goes out. Everything goes out. So everything is vanity. See that certificate, that thing, those things that you're pursuing that you feel like when you have them, you'll be happy. You won't be happy when you have them. Because number one, you would always desire more. And then number two, those things are fickle. They can disappear in a day. everything can disappear in a day. So what would keep you going is that more, and that's where we're moving to, that more that you know that, okay, I'm not just, okay, yes, this thing is no more. Because if you're in a place of survival, when you lose most of the things that, I mean, you hold on to, you are broken, you are depressed, you're shattered. Life does not make any sense again. Maybe all of your life was, oh, I heard the story of a young girl that committed suicide over an examination, and it broke me because she missed the point. Life is bigger than exams. Like, she was, that's the survivor mindset, where you think that something you're doing is what brings your validation. Something you're doing, it is not it. You are the one that validates that thing actually. So you write an exam, and then, I mean, it doesn't go as planned. You know that, okay, this is a phase, there is more to me, so I need to go to what next. You're trying to get a job, and the phase of your life where you're trying to get a job is frustrating, is depressing, is all of that, but you know that this does not define me. You're in a place where you were jilted in a relationship, and you know that that doesn't define you. That is when you've come out of that place of survival to say, see, there's more to your life, there's more to me than this. Tell yourself, there is more to me than this. There is more to me than this. You matter. You matter. And I know I'm dwelling on all of that. It needs to sink deep. You matter in the big picture. Another thing I want to emphasize, yes, is that being significant it has absolutely nothing to do with having all of the money in the world. So I've talked about the fact that it's not just about fame, it's not just about popularity. Remember that I didn't say relevance, because if you're significant, you're definitely relevant. So relevance and popularity are not the same thing. Relevance and fame are not the same thing. You can be relevant and maybe most people don't even know you. But in that your little space, the impact you are making, and that is exactly what we're dwelling on. That you begin to live an intentional life of impact. And you don't need all the money in the world. In fact, you don't even need money. Sometimes all you need is your smile. All you need is your knowledge. All you need is, there are a lot of things you can give that before you even come to the part that, you need to spend money. So, yeah, money enhances things, money makes things better and all of that. But the truth is, money will not even go to people who are not going to use it well. Yes, so you need to, if you're living intentionally, if you're conscious of the bigger picture of your life, there is every tendency that money will come to you. There's every tendency that you will attract wealth, because God already sees that this person is not going to waste this resource. This person is going to use this resource judiciously. This person is not just thinking about me. A lot of us talk about our leaders, we talk about people not doing things well. The truth is, if we find ourselves in that position with a survivor mindset, you want to keep for your 25th generation. You just want to be a massive, because you think that this life will, that's why we need to break out of that mindset first, so that when we find ourselves also in places of leadership, we will do right, because we know that, see, life is actually more than food. Life is actually more than all of these things that we see. Life is actually impact. Life is actually relevance. Life is actually one person waking up to say, oh, I'm grateful for you. I am grateful because you are here. Life is actually somebody saying, oh, because the time you spent here has affected me positively. Life is actually somebody saying that my life became better because I met you. Life is actually somebody praying every day because you are existing. Somebody praying for you and say, this person, God, you have to keep them. Because of the impact, because of the relevance, because of the if an effects that your living has on theirs. That is actually life. And so it will take me to the next thing I'm going to be talking about tonight, right? So we're going to be looking at, okay, I've talked about existence and survival and all of. So I want us to look at the pathway. So what's the pathway to this significance? I've established that we need to move from a place of survival. We need to move from just pulling through life, wherever you are. And I also want to say that, significance is not, you don't need to have it all figured out. Say, okay, I know I'm still figuring out my life. Oh, when I'm not okay, hey, I will not think about other people. No, it's something that you do as you grow through life. You start even from the day you realize that there is more to your life, you begin to live in in that with that intentionality, you begin to affect lives in your school as a secondary school student, in your school as an undergraduate, in your place of work, in your business. You are doing, you're not doing business. I see there's a peace that comes with that. And I need us to get, there's a peace that comes with that, that you're not doing business, and there's a peace and contentment. Yeah, I'm going to go there. There's a peace and contentment that comes with that. You're not doing business because hey, this, So even when things are not even working, you know that okay, this thing I'm doing, for of course I want to earn a living. But beyond me earning a living, there are also other wines, and we're going to be deep diving into that. It brings you to a place of contentment, and contentment means that you have peace while you are growing. It is not you. I mean, it paints a picture that lets you grow in peace. So you know that okay, I am here now. This is all I can afford, but I am still growing, and there is a peace that you have in that because you know that your life is not. You're not competing with anybody. That's another thing that survivor brings. It brings competition. You are checking every day. You're online, not because you want to learn from people, but you want to know who has gotten what I have not gotten. Hey, these people, we finished school together, we graduated together. Hey, who is doing this thing next? I need to do this, and now you're going to burn out. You're going to get tired. It won't make sense. It will bring depression. You won't get the best of life. Now, there's good living, but there's actually that best life that you need to live. So don't stop at let me just be okay. Let me just no. All right. So I'll say that yes, contentment, and it brings you to a place of contentment, and you have peace when you're living significantly, or when you have that consciousness. So we want to look at the pathway. What's the pathway to significance? So there is a what would I call it now? There is this blueprint here that I use when I am coaching some of my students. I run a clarity and purpose discovery boot camp, and then there is something that we always do during that boot camp, and I'm going to be sharing with us that really helps you know where you stand. So it's something I'm going to call the deep why analysis, the 3 why analysis. 3 as in 3 why analysis. And it's something that everybody you must get to that point in your life where you ask yourself that 3 why. And by the 3rd why, if that's your 3rd why is not linked to something higher than you, then you're still in that survival space. You need to begin to now ask question, why? So what we will do is you start with what's that greatest decision on your mind right now, or the greatest thing you want to achieve, or the greatest thing you want to do at the moment. You don't need to type it. You can get a notepad and write it there. What is that one thing that is on your mind, and this is my goal? Maybe this is your 2025 goal, and then you just want to go all out to achieve it. Or that's like the greatest, biggest thing you need right now in your life. What is it? So you can write it down. Let me give you like 30 seconds to think through and write that down. What's that greatest thing in your mind right now? What's that one thing that if I just have this thing, I'm okay. If I'm just able to achieve this, I'm okay. If I'm just able to get this right now. Some of you could be, oh, I just need to pass this exam. Some of you is, I just need this relocation. I've been on it. It's not. Some persons is God. I just want to get married. What is happening? I'm 27. Whatever it is, what's that biggest thing on your mind right now? Okay, I want to believe you figured it out, you've written it out. If you're with me, can somebody just drop a comment? Let me know that we're good to go. Then the next question is why? That's the first why. Thank you. The first why is that thing important to you, or why do you need that thing, or why do you want it? So let's write that down. So we're going to do a deep dive analysis, and it would bring you to a place. Why do you want to get that thing? Why is that thing important in your journey? Have you written your first why? So let's assume maybe somebody would eventually share anyways. Maybe, oh, I want to get into school, I want to gain admission. That's my priority. Why do you want to gain admission? Oh, because I want to be a doctor and I need to get into the university. So that's my first why. So number 2, why do you want to be a doctor? So the most important thing is I need to get into school. My why is because I want to be a doctor. Why number 1? Why number 2? Why do you want to be a doctor? Answer that. So yours that may not be your. I mean, that's just an example. So whatever it is in your own case, write your why number two. So I want to be a doctor because doctor is a professional, I mean, it's a good job now. Or I want to be a doctor because whatever it is, or I want to save people's lives. I don't want people to die. Or I want to be a doctor because I want to travel out, and if you're a medical person, it's easier to get an opportunity to travel out and all of that. So when you are done with that second why, now let's go to the last why. I said it's a three why analysis. Your third why of your second why. I don't know if that's clear. What's the why of your second why? Right. So why do you want to save the world? For example, why do you want to be a doctor because you want to save people? Why do you want to save people? Why do you want to yeah, whatever that thing is. So have you answered your third why? Okay, so if you're done with your third why, now that third why Gongo is where your heart is actually. And a lot of time, if that third why, if by your third why, I mean by your first why, it's okay that it's still about you. By your second why, it's still fair that it's still about you. But if you're getting to your third why and it is still about you, guy, we need to talk. You're still in that place that you just want to survive, like you just so by that your third why, it should have shifted from something that it is just you. It should have shifted to that initial picture that I said that's your part that you need to play on the surface of the earth. That's your part that you need to play to make the world a better place by your thought. And it is in anything you are doing. I mean any decision you're making, whether in terms of a location, in terms of any key decision you are making, by your third why of that decision, you should be linking it. So it makes it makes life very beautiful. I get to talk to people and they're just like, how you're just so clear. I don't have it all figured out. I don't know exactly what's tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. The only thing I know is that I'm alive, I'm going to wake up. But I don't have the details of, oh, this is what we're for. But to an extent, there is a bit of clarity for every phase of my journey. So if I'm doing something, I know why I'm doing it. I will not do something because everybody's doing it. And that is where I want to shift to tonight. You meet people during NYSC and they come and they tell you, oh, come and learn this course, and you see somebody learning like 5 courses. It's not bad. Like you're learning HSC, you're learning PMP, you're learning data, you learn like 10 safe. And I'm asking you, oh, why are you doing this? And your response is, you need to have everything. You don't know anyone. No, no. That's still the low grade. That's a low form of life. That's not the kind of life you need to live if you're going to be a significant person. Even when you are doing something that you totally don't know whether you will need or not, but somehow you can connect to a bigger picture that I'm doing this thing because I know that this is where my journey is leading to, and somehow it may be important, it may be needed. You can live with that clarity. It is possible. You can live with that clarity that when you have to move to a place, it is connecting to, oh, I need to go and get this knowledge so that I can do this, so that you can live in that place. You can be there, you can get there. And that's what I want you to understand tonight. That is it's a place of peace. It's a place where you're not competing with anybody. Even when things are not really working well for you, you understand your journey. You're not under unnecessary pressure. You can't be pushed to do what you shouldn't do because there is a peace that comes with clarity. There is a peace that comes with knowing your journey and staying through to it. All right. So yes. So the pathway to that your why is the purpose. That's the pathway to significance is your why. I call it your why. What's your why? What is your why in life? You can't clearly know it at once, but it starts from somewhere. So I'm a student in secondary school. I mean, in my head, I might still be thinking that, oh, what I'm doing is just because of my parents. Though I need to. But as you begin to grow, you begin to see things, and I'm going to talk about certain indicators that can help you answer the question of your why. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going to talk about certain indicators that can help you understand this why or get this why, that when you begin to pay attention to it, you get this why. Okay, I think I have like 10 minutes more. Okay. So, yes, what are these indicators? Okay, let me dwell a bit more on that before I come to the indicators. You need to know what your why is, right? That's your purpose. That's what I call your purpose. That is the reason why you are here. And purpose is not a destination. Purpose is not a destination. It's a journey. It's something that you find in every phase of life. Of course, there is something that sums everything up, right? But it begins from your everyday life. So there is a purpose in your school, there is a purpose in your church, there is a purpose before you even get to the big things. There is a purpose even in your family. There is a purpose even in your family. So purpose is not, let me wait when I now find it. No, you begin to start even in the generic things as you now get more understanding of the specific. So there are certain things I call indicators that can help you find your why, because it is in that why that significance begin, that you begin to live a significant life. It is that why that brings you totally out of a survivor mindset, that you know that I'm here for more. I'm not just here for the Solomon Grundy experience, right? So the first purpose indicator is your passion. Your passion. And how do you find your passion? That word has been bastardized, right? A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm passionate." Passion is money that is driving you. There's every tendency that you're passionate in the direction of where money is coming from. And let me tell you something, right? The truth is, I've discovered that money is attracted to value. Money is attracted to value. If you're valuable, you would likely get money. And so one of the ways that you can be valuable is living in purpose. You will not struggle to be valuable. See, it's not, I don't know if I can pour out my heart, you will not struggle for relevance if you are living in purpose. You will not struggle for fame if you're living in purpose. You will not struggle for popularity because you understand. And somehow those things may come your way, but you will not struggle for them because you are living every day doing your part. It's natural, right? It's just like doing what you were made to do. The same way a device will not struggle to do what it was made to do. So if I have to use my blender in the kitchen and I put in my pepper and I'm blending it, it is doing it with ease because that is what it was formed to do. So you were made to live a purposeful life. So when you are working and living in that purpose, you will not struggle. It's easy. And things, of course, will there be challenges a lot of times? Will there be downtimes? Yes. Will there be times that things will not work out well? Yes. But something will keep you going. Your why. And so even when you're going back to the drawing board to re-strategize, to revisit certain things, your why. So the first indicator is your passion. And your passion can be in different form. There could be your passion could be people passion, certain individuals that you're passionate about. It could be situational passion, a certain kind of situation. So there are people that you just see that you're just drawn towards children. That's like an indicator. Remember I said there are indicators, and indicators is like a pointer to, okay, you want to delve deeper, you want to find out, you want to ask certain questions, right? So the people are just passionate about women, about people living with disabilities, that's certain situations. Sometimes your passion stems from a place of an experience that you had. So maybe you've had a not so palatable experience. Like I've seen people that would say, "Oh, I want to be a doctor because, or at a time in my life, I had a family that was sick, and then we took the person to the hospital, and the way the whole thing went, we lost the person, and I made up my mind that I'm going to save people." So certain experiences spurs up our passion, right? Certain experiences spurs up our passion. So another purpose indicator, yeah, so passion, your experience, I can't delve deep into that because of time. Your ability can also be an indicator. There are things that you can just do naturally. So maybe there are people that like this, that they can counsel, like they don't struggle. You just come and tell them your problem. You will need the solution because it's just natural. It's just something that God has put inside of them. And it's a starting point to begin to say, okay, this is like an indicator to something. It could be an indicator to your why. It could be an indicator to the big picture. It could be an indicator to that pick that your place in the map of things. It could be an indicator to your life of significance, right? And I tell people that in your everyday decision, these things should be the guide. If you're going to live that life, and your everyday decision, of course, it's not like every day you now sit down. So what should I now do now? What's my passion? No? But there is a way that when you have that understanding, that it's already like a foundation, a bedrock. So when you are making decisions, of course, that you are thinking about yourself, but you know that there is a why, there is a third why that is beyond you. Sometimes it's even on your second why. You know that, oh, this second why. So I am in a job. Of course, I'm there because I want to learn. I want to be a better person. I'm there because I want to earn the money. But why do I want to earn the money? Is linked to something else. Why do I want to be a better person? Is linked to my why. Why do I want to grow in this? Is linked to my why. I'm starting a business because, oh, I need a source of income. But it's not just about me. Why do I need a source of income? It's linked to your why. I'm getting married because everybody's getting married. So I can say, oh, my husband, my wife, oh, you got no, the God way. Why? There should still be a more because, oh, there is somebody that would support you to chase your 10,000. You need to put 10,000 to flight. So there is it makes life more intentional. It makes life more beautiful. And that's the kind of life we've been called to live because as not maybe not unconventional as it may sound, we're going to give account of our lives, like as unconventional as it may sound. Like you're not living for yourself. It's more like an investment. God has invested in you by bringing your ear on it. That's the investment. Whether you have a rich family, you don't have a rich family, can working income, whatever the situation is, the investment is that you are here already. First of all, you have the breath of life. So what will you do with that breath of life? You just be there. You will just think about yourself. And so when you live with this consciousness of significance, you won't be small. You won't settle for small. In fact, it would even make you more ambitious. It will make you to have greater goals because you know that there are lives attached to you. You know that there are people that their life will be better by you being better. You know that there is somebody in your family. Sometimes, like I said, it could even be your family. You know, you are coming from a place and you see that this family, nobody has even ever gone to university before. Everybody is just limited. And you tell yourself, I'm going to put it upon myself. I'm going to be serious with my studies. I'm going to trust God. I'm going to ensure that I break that pattern. That's the purpose already. Like that's something great. And you are able to give it your best. It's not convenient. You're studying night, day, you're focused, you're shutting off distractions, you're keeping, you're doing all it takes, and you eventually break through. Do you know what you've done? I mean, as simple as that may sound, being like the first person to gain admission to the university, do you know that significance of that? What you've done is that people coming after you, they already have a reference point. So it's easy. I mean, I want us to see it even in the seemingly little things. So it's easy. They already have a reference point that asks. It's not like, nobody has ever done it before. Somebody took it upon himself. So when you begin to live with the consciousness of significance, with a why, you are more responsible. Nobody is dragging you to do the right thing. You are disciplined. People that are not disciplined is because they are not living with the consciousness of anything. When you are living with a consciousness of your why, you are not, nobody will coerce you to do what you need to do. Nobody will force you to do the right thing because you know that there are lives, there are people attached to your life. And does this mean that, oh, every day now I'm not thinking about myself? Oh, it's just people like, no. You're thinking about yourself too. But you know that even in that yourself, because it's like I said, it's already a foundation, it's already infused. So even when you're thinking about yourself and all of that, you know that that betterment of your life is the betterment of other lives. I don't know if there's any English like betterment in English. That as and the product, the end results, even when your life is good, when you're enjoying, the end result is that other people will enjoy it too. So as I begin to tie these up tonight, yeah. So I've talked about your ability, your passion. Those are your indicators of your why, your experiences. Sometimes you go through whether good, not so good experiences. Your experiences are key. You don't Lessons are never a waste. Experiences are never a waste. Certain times, certain things you've gone through, Most times it is so that when you are comforted, you can comfort others. That's why you go through certain things, so that when you are comforted, you can comfort others. So don't throw away your lessons, don't throw away your experiences, don't shut it down. Sometimes you were able to go through that so that you can see that, this life is hard though, this thing is hard though. And then when you eventually make it, when you eventually blow, you will remember that, this thing I went through, there are people going through it too. So how can I help them? How can I make their lives better? All right. So like I said, so once you find out these indicators, then you can begin to search deeper, ask questions, ask God. I mean, God created you, so He wants to. I don't say, Lord, this is what I noticed about myself. Is this maybe the line of my purpose of my assignment? And like I said, purpose is in your everyday life. So before you even do all of these big things, you are starting. So this thing that I like doing, how can I do it here and now? How can I start small with it? How can I serve with it? How can I show up with it? So you are maybe you're interested in, or you feel that you're passionate about governance, about all of those things, your department, your school, join the SUG. See how you can do things right even from there. So it's not waiting for the platform. People that wait for the platforms don't get to the platform. Platform will come and meet you when you're ready. It's not like you are pouring out something. When you are big enough, you break into something new. But if you stay there and not doing anything and say, I'm waiting for the platform, I'm waiting for when I will get it, it will not come. So start from that place that is small, such that you will grow so big, and then you will need to break into platforms. So you start small, show up, start small, find the little things you can begin to serve, little things you can begin to do. It could be as simple as just one person. You just identify this one person that this person that is not. Let me see how I can be a blessing to this person. Let me see how I can impact this life. Let me see how I can even support you, encourage you. Let me see how I can. So you start small. You think every day, who is getting better because of me? That's the life of significance. Somebody can be getting better because of you. Somebody can have a problem and they can think that, let me call this person. This person has a way of talking that he has a listening ear. You may not even give them advice. You may not even encourage them. That you are just there, that people can pour out their hearts to, and then you can empathize with them. That's an assignment on its own. So you want to find out. So I've said you need to sit down with your passion. You need to write things down. What are the things people you're passionate about? What are the people? What are the situations? What kind of audience? What kind of things drive you? What kind of things stir your heart? That when you just hear, you're like, how, when, yeah, that kind of thing. What experiences have you had, good and bad? And how can they be relevant to your life journey right now? What abilities do you have? What things come to you naturally? All right. And then you start small, you begin to serve in them, you begin to show up in them. It is he that has more, that much more will be given to, right? So it is when you are using, even when you're not so clear, but you're using that little thing that you have, right? That is when more clarity comes. So clarity comes with the journey. You don't stay, fold your hand and say, I'm waiting for clarity. Why are you not doing anything? I need to be clear. Nothing will happen. You will stay there. Start from the little information that you have. So it's like, I think I was listening to, I can't remember where I read it, but I need something I saw this week. How that you have a touch. Okay, yes, I was in a meeting and the preacher said something like that. You have a touch, right? And you're in a dark forest. You can't see the end. If you don't move, you will not see the end. Because your touch can only cover, that's your immediate circumference, right? That light, it can only shine through. So you need to start and keep moving until you keep moving before you get to the end. But a lot of us want to stay and want to see the end picture. But your light can only even see your next 2-3 steps. So take the 2-3 steps, then the light will see another 2 steps. The light will see another 2 steps. That's how you get into it. That's how clarity comes. It comes when you keep moving. So just start from the little assurance you have. That little one that just show up. Oh, I think this is what I'm passionate about. This is what my why is. So how you now begin to ask your questions that how do please confirm you can hear me. So you now begin to ask, so okay, how do these things now? So when you are taking decisions, when you are thinking of what you want to study, when you are thinking of location, it is not just first, it's see that it is now just that it is not just about you again, because you're living with a consciousness of something. And yes, I mean, you will not save the whole world, but you can save one person, you can save two people. They say, "Ah, please, oh, I'm not here to come and die. I want to enjoy." You will enjoy while you're doing it, because the truth is, the enjoyment sef go tire you. When you be a blessing to people, when you live significantly, there are things that it's like a seed. It's like you're casting your bread on many waters. It will come. It will all come back, right? So I think we'll get to that point where we begin to take questions. Let me just tie things up. So yeah, you need to think that who is getting better because of me. The moment you shift to making things better, you shift from being just me to living in your why, life begins to make sense. Life makes more sense when you shift from just me to my why, and then it helps you stay on track. So you're in that business, you're in that job, not just because you are some hustling. So when things don't even go out well, you can go back and say, okay, I mean, I'm not going to be broken, I'm not going to be battered, because I know that I'm not even doing this for myself alone. So I'm doing it for myself, yes, but I'm doing it also because, it's beautiful when I see people who are setting certain goals, and when you hear them, they're like, no, I want to do this, so that you're coming from a place where nobody has done something and you want to do it. That's beautiful. It's great, because you're empowering other people. You are making them see that this is a possibility. And for some of you, you won't even have any reference. You're going to be the first reference for these things. All right. So don't just survive this life. Nah, you need to show up. Don't stay in that place of survivor. All there is to you is not to travel out and jackpot and go and also. All there is to you is not to buy a car. All there is to your life is not to build house. So when you build the house, so what next? You'll be tired of living inside it. Even if it's ten bedroom place, one day you'll be tired, you want more. But when you are intentionally meeting it, when you're intentionally putting a smile on people's faces, you have a reason to wake up every morning. You have something to live for. And it makes sense. It makes sense. They're not doing it because you want people to applaud you. You're not doing it because, oh, people will not celebrate. They're not say, 100 most influential. No. You're doing it because that is what you should do. You are needed here. Right? So you need to know that the word needs what you carry. Tell yourself, as I round up tonight, I mean, I can't exhaust everything else. I'm just going to tie it up tonight and believing that somebody has gotten something, somebody is poured up, somebody is charged to find more. I mean, I've said a few things that you can go back to and sit and find more. That the word needs what you carry, and you are not here to hustle through life. You are not hustling. You are not here to struggle. You are not, no. You can live in clarity. So sit and begin to ask yourself why before you take your next big step. Why do I want to do this? Why do I? If you don't know the why, stay there until you really get a why that is beyond you. That, okay, so even if this thing doesn't work out, so if I get this thing, so what next? What will I do with it? Because life can get really tiring when when it's not connected to anything, when you are going nowhere, it's just about you get to a point and you're just tired, and so what next? And that's why people seem to have everything but lose a sense of meaning, and they get into places where, I mean, a lot of things happen. All right, so I think I'm just going to tie it up here tonight, because of time, and let's take questions. Thank you so much for listening to me. Do we have our host here? Okay, I can see a beautiful face.
Wow, wow, wow. I felt like the session should not end.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was amazing. Um, okay, I'm trying to see if we have questions so we can just put it up. Okay, I don't think we have questions here. This is what happens when you've eat the head, the everything, the everywhere, and all of that. Like what question do we want to ask? Even the ones we are about to ask, you nailed it. So I mean, that was an amazing session. Thank you so much, Damilola Grace Uzoma. Like it was nothing short of amazing. Moving from survival to significance. From the session, it opened our eyes to the fact that it's a call to, first of all, awareness and working in line with the plan and purpose of God for your life. Because the truth of the matter is, like you mentioned, there is actually more to who we can see now, right? There is actually more. People feel like, okay, perhaps this is just, let me just accept my fate. But it's not, it's that's not in
Yeah.
God's plan and reality for us. And I'm glad we're able to open our eyes, to understanding that God's plan for us is not for us to maintain the survival mode,
Oh,
but to be, men and women of substance, right? And you mentioned that when you're working in line with your purpose, all of these things just comes. It's more like there are things we get to attract, the significance, just relevance, and those good stuff, money and all those stuff. Thank you so much, like that was superb. I actually did not want you to even end this session, and yeah, we do not have any questions. Thank you so much. Like I said, you're able to eat the head on the nail, eat you're just eating the table, eating everywhere. Thank you so much, Damilola Grace Udoma. And yes, before you leave, do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Like I mentioned earlier on, we do run our monthly webinar. Yeah, and guess what? Next month is going to be yet another exciting one. Thank you for being a part of tonight's session.
thank you
Looking
for
forward to
having
seeing you
me.
next week.
Have a good time.
Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Yeah, bye.